Hi, I'm Kevin, and I collect old American irons.
Hi, I'm Marc from Switzerland and I collect European irons.
With me is Marc Pisler, who has an extensive collection of European irons. Marc has been president of the Swiss Iron Collectors Club for 25 years, has written a number of books. Are you and I ready to talk about some American and European irons?
Of course, sure, I do this.
There's a big difference between the most collectible American and European irons. My collection of American irons has irons mostly from the mid-1800s to the mid-1900s.
Yes, European irons can be much older. This one, for example, is dated 1645. It's my oldest iron.
The American irons that are widely collected are manufactured. They were mass-produced. All of them are alike. And they also have an abundance of information on these irons. There's patent histories, there's company names, model numbers, and so forth. And these American irons also come in all kinds of more recent technologies. There's irons that were heated in the fireplace or on a stove. There are fuel irons that use coal, liquid fuel, natural gas, ultimately to electric irons. And we've seen various of these in the previous videos.
The European irons in my collection are from a whole different world. My collection has a lot of irons from the 1600 and the 1800, and they are handmade, one at a time, by individual artisans. These would be a blacksmith, a metalsmith, and a woodworker who turns out the handle. Almost always, the person who made the iron and often the country of origin are unknown. The technology is older. Most of my irons in my collection are slug irons. This includes a piece of metal that is heated, this kind of piece of metal, and introduced in the iron.
We have chosen some of the best examples from Marc's collection to show the variety of European slug irons. Marc has given me pictures and information about these irons, and here we go. Are we ready?
Yes, of course.
In this video, we will present 13 slug irons to provide something of a European history of this group that covers some 240 years. 8 of the irons are dated, 2 from the 1600s, 4 from the 1700s, 2 from the 1800s, and 5 undated irons are placed among the dated irons to provide an approximate chronological order. We will start with Marc's 1645 iron. The box, gate, and rather simple posts are all brass, with a branching plant motif engraved on the top, with a date on one side. The wood handle looks to likely have been replaced. The gate swings out on a simple hinge, which is on the right side. To be emphasized here is the simple construction. This iron is from Denmark. Our second iron is also dated at 1653, with other detailed text in French and a coat of irons on the top. The top and sides are brass plate that are probably brazed together, while the back is made of iron with a latch mechanism on the right side and hinge on the left. By brazed, we mean a copper zinc alloy that serves as a solder. The posts are wrought iron and are connected to the box by bolts. The handle appears to be original. This iron is thought to be Swiss or French. Our third iron was chosen from among several similar irons in Marc's collection. These have a brass plate with cutouts on top of forged iron sides. The top plate has a floral design and a heart, pierced presumably by Cupid himself. This was presumably a wedding gift. There is some engraving and non-legible script on the sides. The posts are iron and the handle is original. The gate swings out on a hinge with a simple latch that is quite typical for the early slug irons. This iron is thought to be from about 1650, origin either France or Germany. This iron is of a style often called Nuremberg from Germany. The Nuremberg irons are among the most desirable of old irons and are characterized by the cast brass posts and a plate with cutouts that is inset within the top of the iron. The plate has the monogram AM, which are presumably the initials of the person who owned this. The posts show a mermaid design, also common among the Nuremberg irons, and the box, gate, and latch are all made of iron, with the latch being on the back of the gate, which swings out on the right side hinge. Marc thinks this to be from about 1700 to 1720. The box and posts are cast brass. The gate is a brass plate and swings out on the left. The top has an engraved crest and crown and a 1743 date. This is a relatively common style without the separate brass plate of some of the other irons of similar age that have been shown here. The handle is of a darker wood and does not show great wear, so perhaps replaced. Origin perhaps Denmark. This iron has a brass top plate affixed by screws to the forged iron base. Posts are also forged iron. The plate includes the crest of St. Roch, patron saint of sickness, flanked by 2 lions and the date 1758. There is a brass plate on the gate which swings out on a left side hinge. The origin is unknown, could be French, German, Swiss, or perhaps another country. This has a relatively taller forged iron box with a brass top plate and gate. The plate shows a lady, child, and dog surrounded by 2 birds and a 1761 date. The front post is simple, but the back post has a curved decoration at the bottom and higher up an attachment for a lift gate. Marc thinks this to be from Northern Europe. This design is called a stirrup handle, like the stirrup used in riding horses, with several curved elements that support the upper posts. These are thought to be from the Jura region of France. There is a brass top plate that is engraved with a fleur-de-lis, that's a lily design. There is an RM monogram and a 1776 date. But on top of the brass plate is an iron plate that is bolted into the box by 6 screws. Except for the engraved plate and 6 washers, everything is wrought iron. In the middle of the brass plate is a bolt affixed to a snake design that automatically swings open. This is my favorite among the irons shown here. From about 1780, this is of the ox tongue design, with the bottom iron plate rolled by the blacksmith with a single wrought iron post to the rear. The gate lifts and swings around a rivet on the right side. There is a brass plate decorated with a floral design, ribbons, and a W. The single post design is often Swiss. The handle is original. This is a beautiful Italian iron made of cast bronze. Posts are of a composite iron and brass structure in the shape of a fish that is bolted to the box. The gate lifts, probably about 1820. This iron is made of many forged iron parts that are brazed or welded together. The sides have a round back design with a hole in the rear for the lift gate, which has an intricate grille design that is fastened to the back post. There is a brass knob on the top of the gate grille. The posts are of similar design, curved at the bottom, with each rotated 180 degrees from the other. Posts are screwed into the top plate of the box. This is from about 1840 from Denmark. Another round back design with single rear posts, though this is Scandinavian. The box is made of forged iron elements brazed or welded together. The gate is also iron, but the lift pole and the upper post are brass. Both the top and the matching trivet show S and H letters, and the trivet includes an 1861 date. This, our last iron from the Pisler collection, that shows essentially handmade irons done over 240 years, and has an ox tongue design with 2 brass posts that support a flattened iron piece that is surrounded by the original leather handle. Gate lifts and rotates around the left side bolt connected to a decorated iron plate. A similar plate is along the top of the iron beneath the handle and includes an attractive 1881 date. Marc, thank you very much for hosting Kate and I. I have learned a great deal.
Now, Kevin and Kate, thank you very much having you here. It was a pleasure. And thank you for all the work you do with your history of irons, which is to be seen on YouTube.